くぜ昇竜レッパー
Street Fighter 2 has some of the most tight controls in fighting games, but Street Fighter 2 also isn't without its music. Each of the characters' themes in Street Fighter 2 have been through many revisions, reboots, and remasters, but today we are going to look at the original Capcom Power System 1 characters' themes and find the 10 best ones. Now since we're looking at CPS 1 themes, we're not going to include any of the new challengers since they didn't come until Capcom Power System 2 in Super Street Fighter 2. So that means you won't see Fei Long, T-Hawk, Cammy, DJ, or Akuma, despite the fact that they are technically Street Fighter 2 characters. Perhaps I'll save them for another day. Starting this list off is the theme of Bison. Holy crap, this theme is the real deal, people. It gives you that epic feel to remind you that you are definitely facing final boss material. And in general, you can literally just put this theme over any final boss and you are good to go. Take a listen. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Now the reason why I have it so high up the list is because the first 20 seconds are the best part of the theme, and while the rest of the theme isn't bad, far from it, it's pretty good. It's just the blurry feel to it is not really my style, even though there are some parts that sound clear and awesome, especially in the definitive soundtrack. And overall it has a rather slow feel to it, but it's okay because this final boss theme is awesome.
Perfect.
Up next on our list is the theme of Mike Tyson, Balrog. This theme is a lot faster than Bison's theme, which I really like. I also love how this theme has very consistent speed, to show that Balrog doesn't mess around. However, there is one flaw that holds this theme back from being higher on the list. This theme, in my opinion, doesn't really fit Balrog at all. Now I know what you guys are thinking. Why should a theme fitting a character matter? Well, here's the thing. Yoko Shimomura, the music composer of Street Fighter 2, created these themes in a way to reflect the character's overall personality. That's not to say she did a bad job with Balrog's theme, it's just the overall theme doesn't really fit a crazy buffalo such as Balrog. But regardless of all that, this is a really superb theme. Taking the number 8 spot is the Russian bear himself, Zangief. Zangief, or even Zangief if you're that desperate. Anyway, Zangief has a pretty modest approach to his theme, and unlike Balrog, Zangief's theme at least fits him in some way. However, I think Zangief's theme just fits his stage more so than him as an actual character. I honestly see this theme being played on the radio of Home Depot or something, because to be honest with y'all, Zangief's stage and Home Depot kinda sorta maybe look similar to each other. So to hear this theme play on the radio of Home Depot would actually be pretty fascinating. Now the reason why this theme is ranked at number 8 is because the beginning is kind of slow and meh, but the theme instantly gains your attention over time, so it's not that bad. Now if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna head to my local Home Depot and see if they'll play this on the radio. Shit. At number 7, we have the strongest woman in the world, Chun-Li. And I gotta say, this theme is arguably the most energetic I have ever heard within the Street Fighter soundtrack. It's also arguably the best stage-fitting theme within the entire Street Fighter series. What I mean by that is, this theme fits with this street fair really well compared to the other Street Fighter themes with their own stage. The only thing holding it back is, let's face it, the second half of this theme is nothing but filler. Now of course what I mean by that is, after the first 25 to 30 seconds of the theme, you kind of hear this rapid fast note phase, and it's just kind of bland and boring to be honest with y'all. Now you still have that really catchy part at the end, but aside from that, the second half of the theme is kind of fillered with bland and boring, which isn't bad, it's certainly tolerable. It sounds okay, it doesn't take away from the entire theme. It's just, if that were to be replaced with something better, this could have been ranked a lot higher. But overall, it's a really superb theme, especially with it sounding energetic. Concluding the first half of our countdown is the Japanese sumo wrestler E Honda, probably one of the most cheapest characters in this game. Like seriously, what the f***? He keeps grabbing you and humping you and then he does his 100 hand slap. That is cheap. But wait, talk is cheap too. So that means... shit. Oh wait, I forgot, we're talking about Street Fighter themes and not overpowered Street Fighter characters. Besides, E Honda isn't even that overpowered anyways. But yeah, one thing I like about E Honda's theme is that it perfectly captures the Japanese culture. And it would honestly be pretty cool to hear this in an actual bathhouse. But one thing that's holding this back from being at number 6 is that it is still rather kinda slow. And now that I think about it, I don't really even want to go to a bathhouse in the first place because I have a feeling that it's probably going to be one of those bathhouses where it's going to be all like,
we're all guys here, so let's get naked, bathhouse. What?
Fuck it, you know what I'm talking about. But overall, E Honda's theme, pretty damn good. Now, let's just move on please before I get a headache. Hey Blanka, shut the f*** up. Yeah, for those of you who don't follow Chris D'Elia, that became really popular on his social media a few years ago. But in all seriousness, now we're really starting to get into the good parts of the Street Fighter soundtrack. And I mean good, as in near masterpiece-like. Blanka's theme goes in a pretty fast and pretty rhythmic direction, especially with this taking place in Brazil. You guys have no idea how much this theme gets stuck in my head throughout class. In fact, speaking of school, I remember playing this theme in specific when I was testing out a radio that you could earn by participating in a fundraiser, but nobody was paying attention to it because they were packing up. Wah, 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 wah. The only downside to this theme is that this theme very slightly doesn't fit Blanka. If this was heavy metal, then it would have fit Blanka perfectly, and this theme in particular was created using digital hardware. But that doesn't hold this theme back in the slightest from being an amazing theme in the Street Fighter soundtrack. But if you think this theme is awesome, then get ready because numbers 4 through 1 are gonna blow this one right out of the water. Or out of the forest, since this is technically Brazil. Talk about clone typical pre-Dr. Doom-like fashion. Vega is number 4 on this list. There are so many reasons why I love this theme. It gets stuck in your head really easily. It's really fast paced. I can put this theme over any scene in any movie. And, best of all, this theme matches Take On Me by Aha almost perfectly. Except this theme is about 5% slower than that. In fact, here's me attempting to mesh both of them together. Take a listen. Now that I think about it, that doesn't really sound all that great. Oh well, I got nothing more to add anyways. I love Vega's theme. Add it to your playlist after this video. This theme in Street Fighter 2 is almost perfect. 9.9 out of 10. So many people have used this in their videos, especially Dan TDM. Plus, as you just heard a minute ago, somebody actually made a fan-made version of Ken's theme and added their own lyrics to it. I'll leave a link to that video in the description along with the other Street Fighter themes. However, some could argue that this theme is kind of a ripoff of Mighty Wings by Cheap Tricks, which was in the movie Top Gun. Take a listen. Actually, never mind, I can't show that due to copyright. Frick. So if you want to go see for yourselves, just go look it up on YouTube. But yeah, Ken's theme is awesome and it will stay in my head for probably the rest of the day now that I think about it. Whoa, torches and pitchforks down, folks. Before you start raging, let me at least explain why Guile's theme is only at number 2. Don't get me wrong guys, I love Guile's theme so much. It was so close to being number 1 on the list. But here's the thing. I just prefer the Super Nintendo version of this theme over this one. Don't get me wrong, I like the arcade version too, it's just, it kind of focuses a little less on the rhythm and more within the beats in the background. That's why it's not the greatest, but factor in the Super Nintendo and this theme takes number 1. Now, what could be better than Guile's theme? Well, let's find out together. If you've never heard this theme before, then take a moment of silence. Listen to this theme. gentlemen, what you just heard was, in my opinion, arguably the best video game theme in video game history, let alone fighting game history. It would take me about 4 to 5 hours to list off why I love this theme so much. It inspires me. It can inspire anybody to reach their goal. It inspires me to wake up in the morning. It inspires me to get good grades in school. It inspires me to become the very best. And, in my own opinion, this theme may have inspired the competitiveness of fighting games. And my girlfriend just messaged me. For our secret number 11, how could we talk about Street Fighter without bringing up the hungry for money Muay Thai king himself, Sagat? And sure, while his theme is incredibly short despite the fact that Sagat himself is pretty damn tall, it has a nice little jingle to it and sounds like something I would put as a ringtone on my phone. And I know what you guys are thinking. What about Dalsim's theme? Why wasn't his theme on the list? Well, here's the thing. It's really confusing when you first hear it, plus, it's just a repeat of the same beat, but just in a higher pitch. Huh? Oh, 1 second. Hello?
I messaged you, but you never replied back.